Turb, scooted just a little bit. All right, hey guys. Obviously very excited after a big time overtime win against a very good opponent. Northern Arizona obviously ranked in the top 25 for a reason. They've been playing good football all season, and for us to come down here on a short week, get a win, especially an overtime win, was huge. Obviously, all three phases had some issues that we got to continue to get cleaned up. But the one thing that was consistent about our group is they just stayed the course. They did not worry about any type of negative plays. We just went to the next one, right? And we really stayed together as a group, and I thought fought really, really hard. And we talked about it all week. Hey, it's going to be 60 plus minutes, however long it takes. We're going down to Flagstaff to get a win, and it was nice to see our guys deliver. So kind of open it up to you guys for any questions. Very excited. Obviously, got my man right here, Eli Cummings, man, Turb, had a great game. He's really showing, I think, the league that he is the top all-purpose back in the Big Sky with what he's doing on the ground and in the air. I'd be hard pressed to find anybody else better than him. But again, up to you guys. Go ahead and ask Turb questions first. That way we can get him out of here and get him some food, and then you guys can ask away for me as well.
Yeah, hi, Elisha. First off, kind of feels like a legacy game for you. 106 yards, season high with a touchdown, 78 yards receiving and a touchdown. What was working well for you, just offensively?
Really just knowing the game plan, knowing what we need to get done. We really didn't change much. Really getting the run game going. We really found things that worked and things that didn't work. And so I really just stayed in it and believed in my O-line. They did a great and awesome job tonight, knocking their behinds off. And so we just did it like that.
Please mute yourselves if you're not speaking.
Liam, your mic's on, buddy. Elisha, tell me about, you mentioned it a little bit there, but your offensive line, they have been tremendous all season. Obviously, they're tremendous in this game. What is it like to run behind that offensive line?
They're a great, awesome group of guys on and off the field. I believe in them and everything that they do. And I think just following them is just a great way to the promised land.
Anybody else got questions for Turbo?
Elisha, you were one of the biggest contributors in the backfield last year, and then this year just battling some injuries earlier on, and you've really started to come on strong these past few weeks. As you guys are trying to get back on track and win out here, what do you have to say about your contributions to this team? How big of a role you're going to play down the stretch for this offense?
I think it was just a sense of urgency for me to get back and provide my team what they really needed. And I think me being on the field is a very big contribution to my offense. And I think it gets us rolling, it gets us on track. And we can move the ball around a lot.
Thanks, Eli.
Elisha, I'll ask one more. This feels like a kind of a turning point for you guys in the season. Feels like a huge win for Coach Ford. What does it feel like for you guys in the locker room to get a win like this?
It feels good. It feels good to get a win, and I think it's all from Coach Ford. He really helped us stay the course. Like he said at halftime, he told us they were going to make some plays, and they had some guys on scholarship too. So they're Division I football team also, and so they're going to make some plays in the long run. And then we responded, and our response was good, and so we just kept fighting.
Any more questions for Turb? All right, we'll excuse him, and then we'll open up for questions to Coach Ford.
Appreciate y'all.
All right.
All right, Coach. Well, congratulations on this win. This is your guys' first win against a ranked opponent this season. What did you tell your team in the locker room after this big win?
Hey, I just told them that our recipe's working, right? If we come in every week and we're confident, we execute, we play together, we're really hard to beat. And I think what you're seeing is that belief in the program, that belief in one another. And, we know we're a really good football team. A few weeks back, we're going toe to toe with FBS schools, losing by literally last second field goals. That team isn't gone. That team is just a little bit different now. We've grown up quite a bit in these last 4 weeks. Obviously we had a rough stretch where we lost 4 games in a row, and it's easy for people to jump off ship. I get that. But hey, we're still here if you want to jump back on, and that's kind of our thought process is we're going to really worry about the things we can handle, things that we can control. And what we can control is coming to work every day with a great attitude and working our butts off. And that's what these kids have really done over these last 5 weeks.
Coach, I feel like this one kind of had shades of the San Jose State game where you're on the road against an FBS team, and I mean, you go in there and you have a big lead early on, and then they start to make a comeback a little bit, but this time, big difference at the end. You guys responded and you came back and retook the victory and won the game. Huge win, ranked win, like Trevor said. What did it mean for you to see those guys, stick with it after giving up a tough lead? Obviously, I mean, you guys would have liked to just hold on to that 19-point lead there, but NAU makes it a little interesting late, and you guys capitalize. What do you have to say about that?
Well, it's kind of like, Eli said, right? They're a Division I football team with a ton of scholarship athletes. They're going to make plays. So obviously we'd love to have made that a little less stressful, but at the end of the day, our kids just kept fighting. The defense I thought played really well, exceptionally well in the first half. They made some adjustments, made a couple plays, but our kids, again, just stuck their nose down and kept grinding. They didn't worry about the plays they didn't make. They were worried about the next play they were going to make. And I think you saw that from really all 3 phases of the game. I mean, anytime you get a punt blocked, you have an 89% chance to lose. And not only did we get a punt block, we had a punt block return for a touchdown. So although the odds were against us, again, our belief and our ability to play for each other really showed out in this football game.
I'll kind of follow up on that question. We talked about the lead that NAU kind of the deficit that they erased. I mean, let's talk about you guys going down on the block punt. You go down by a touchdown, and then you respond and score 26 unanswered. What were you seeing out of your team in that run of 26 unanswered points that I mean was really different from what you've seen throughout the season?
I don't know that it's any different than what I've seen all season. I think it was a situation where it came together a little bit better, right? We executed at a little bit higher level. We were very solid in terms of tackling. Those are all the things that, kind of in our skid, we really struggled with, right? Getting ball carriers on the ground, getting guys down in open space. And we did a great job of that tonight. They've got a dynamite receiver, number 11. He's one of the best receivers in this league. Their quarterback has been playing at a high level. And I thought for the most part, especially in that first half, we bottled those guys up. But again, they're great players. They got a good program and they made plays, and our guys just kept fighting. No matter how many plays they made, we just knew we had to make one more than they did.
Yeah, Coach, tell me. So I know we talked a little last week about scheming around Elisha. You said he's healthy now. He's back with no restrictions. But why do you think he's finding so much success?
Just because he's healthy. I'm telling you, he's just healthy. Whenever you're coming off a knee injury as a running back, there's just a certain amount of hesitation that's involved when you got to stick that foot in the ground and get vertical. And he does not have that. He is really in mid-season form right now, and looking forward to him continuing to finish this season strong in our last 3 games that we have guaranteed. And, if we can be lucky enough to win all 3, we'll have a good shot at continuing to play in the postseason.
Coach, Ryan Jezioro was a huge part of your guys' passing game. I would say, I mean, at least to me, he stood out the most out of your wideouts throughout non-conference play. And then get into conference play, and you got guys like Marquand McCraney who are starting to pick up targets and really hit their stride. And Jezioro hasn't just been, I mean, you guys have been spreading the ball around a little bit more, hasn't had quite the same numbers in conference play. Tonight, he finds the end zone despite him maybe not getting as many bulk targets as he was earlier on in the year when you guys were still finding your identity as an offense. I mean, the kid can find the end zone. What do you have to say about his ability to really make an impact in the red zone?
Yeah, I mean, he's a big, fast, strong dude. He's one of those guys that you wish you had a couple more of. But RJ is a tough dude as well. He's coming off a shoulder injury. He really isn't 100%. But I think you saw the resolve in that kid. He told me, he said, "Coach, there's no way I'm not playing against Northern Arizona," right? Being an Arizona guy. And, his ability, especially in the red zone to make plays is going to be huge, not just the rest of this season, but the rest of his career, because he's going to be a really good target down there.
I've got a two-parter for you. First off, on that Cruz Hepburn scoop and score, what you see there, and then what do you think about the defense performance? What did they excel at, and what do you think they should do better at?
The first thing was, Freddie Lujan getting the pressure. I mean, he had an unbelievable move to make the sack. Then he gets the ball out as he's tackling him. That's what I saw first. And then I saw the ball on the ground and Cruz Hepburn with no one in front of him. He's way too fast for anybody to catch him on that sideline. So I was pretty fired up about that play. And first and foremost with Freddie, Freddie was a late free agent wire kind of guy in the summertime. We had already started fall camp by the time we got Freddie, but we knew of him. We knew that he was a very high character guy, gets great grades and plays with a great motor. And you saw that, all of that really come to fruition on that particular play. And then overall, I thought our defense played really well. I think Coach Dennison has really done a great job of finding what we're good at and really focusing on that, having some calls that are adjustable, but also some calls that we're just calling and hauling. And hey, we're going to run this call no matter what they're in. And I thought he did a really nice job adjusting to their adjustments, because they did make some very good adjustments in the start of that second half. But I thought Coach Dennison did a phenomenal job, especially in the fourth quarter and overtime, making adjustments to their adjustments.
We'll go 2 more questions for Coach.
Yeah, I just got one more. Coach, we'll try to stop talking about it, but earlier on in the season, hit a little rough patch, lost 4 games in a row. What have you seen differently out of this squad now that it's been 2 straight weeks where you have a really strong showing?
Again, just getting back to who we are, not worrying so much about, where we're at. Are we going to be a playoff team, or, where are we at in the conference? Like, we're not worried about that. We're really worried about our number one team goal, and that's get better every day. We have a slogan that we talk about a lot now. We say, it doesn't matter, get better, right? We had a great overtime win tonight. And when we come back on Sunday, I'm going to tell them the same exact thing. Doesn't matter, get better. And so I think those guys have really bought into that. They're really looking at it as a one game at a time type season. And that's what we're going to do the rest of this season.
Yeah, I'll finish this off here. Yeah, so obviously this is a huge win. I would say possibly one of the biggest in your young career. Was this win alleviating? Did it feel like some pressure was kind of off you after winning this game? I know there's a lot more left, but did this win feel alleviating in any way?
Yeah, I mean, it felt alleviating in a lot of ways. Number one, whenever you go on the road and you're playing a ranked opponent, that's tough as it, just in general. But to be able to come in, get a road victory, especially an overtime victory, that just tells me that this team's resolve is true. It's not something that's just in my head. It's not something that we're just, coach speaking about. This team believes in each other. This team is a tough team, and we're really ready to take on anything that comes our way over these next 3 weeks.
Thanks,
All right,
Coach. Happy
Thank you,
Halloween.
guys.
Thank you, Coach
Guys,
Ford.
Monday.
Good win.
Thanks, Liam. I appreciate your guys' belief, man.